My beloved, my chosen one, why is your heart racing right now? Because your spirit already feels the weight of what heaven has sent. Something unseen has shifted, and deep inside you know this moment is not ordinary. There is a pressure in the air, a pull on your soul, as if heaven itself leaned closer just to reach you. This is not fear, this is awareness, this is the sound of truth knocking before it speaks. Archangel Michael cannot stay silent about what has surfaced. Words have risen into the courts of heaven, spoken by someone who stands closer to you than you ever expected. Their voice carried envy, their intention carried shadows, and the echo of it reached places they never thought it would. Heaven did not ignore it, heaven paused. And in that pause God says, "My child, I am saddened to hear this. But even in sadness, I still trust you. Even when others cast shadows, I still see your light. Yet understand this clearly, timing matters now. If you are not guilty, you must open yourself to this moment fully, because silence can be twisted when truth is avoided. Listen closely, because this is not just a message passing through your screen. This is a test of alignment. Every sentence you stay with is clearing fog around your name. The enemy's goal is simple: distraction. To make you doubt, to make you scroll, to make you leave before clarity settles in. But if you walk away, confusion tries to speak in your place. Staying is not pressure, it is protection. Before this goes deeper, let me say something gently but clearly. If you truly feel connected to this light, don't consume it and disappear. Stay rooted. Subscribe, stay connected, and be part of this growing circle. Because consistency is how spiritual covering strengthens. When you stay where truth speaks, you don't stand alone when accusations rise. Here is what you must understand now. The one who spoke against you did not come from far away. They smiled, they shared space, they knew your story. But jealousy hides well behind familiar faces. That is why this message arrived suddenly without warning, like fire in the dark. God did not want you unaware. You were never the problem. You were the threat to what they could never become. Time is moving, and every moment matters. Heaven's record is open, and your name is already glowing. God is ready to write clarity beside it, not because you begged, but because truth recognizes truth. But heaven watches response. Will you stay present? Will you let truth stand where lies once tried to sit? Ask yourself honestly, can you feel that pull in your chest? That quiet urgency. That is not anxiety. That is your spirit saying, this matters. And if you stay, what rises next will not only defend you, it will elevate you beyond what was said against you. My beloved, my chosen one, do you sense how even the silence around you feels alive? That is because movement has begun. Archangel Michael, speak plainly now. Forces have tried to twist your image before God, using the voice of someone you trusted. But God did not turn away. He leaned forward and said, "My child, even in the storm, I trust your heart. I trust the light I placed inside you. Still the window is narrow. Stay present. Stay aware. Because absence gives lies room to breathe. The whispers came because destiny was near. Crowns attract resistance. Purpose attracts jealousy. They feared what heaven was preparing for you, so they tried to stain your name before it could shine. But heaven paused everything, just to see if you would remain steady in truth. That trembling you feel is confirmation. This is personal. This is precise. This is your defense unfolding in real time. Know this as well. The one who tried to bend the story will face their own reflection. Words spoken in darkness return to their sender. But integrity is required. Faith is required. Staying is required. This is not entertainment. This is alignment. And let me whisper this gently again. If your heart feels drawn here, don't treat it lightly. Stay connected. Subscribe. Let this space be familiar ground. Because miracles don't rush those who wander. They flow toward those who remain rooted where clarity lives. Your story is still being written. What was meant to silence you will become proof of your rise. God did not step back. He said, I still see my child. And I, Archangel Michael, stand with sword raised, clearing every false shadow that tried to cling to you. But protection covers those who stay within it. Do not underestimate this moment. Angels are attentive. Records are open. Time is passing. And heaven is watching your response, not with suspicion, but with hope. Your innocence does not need shouting. It needs presence. Your faith does not need explanation. It needs steadiness. The weight you feel right now is not random. The instant your eyes met these words, the atmosphere shifted. This message was shaped for you alone. Accusations were heard, yes. But mercy spoke louder. God says, my child, I am saddened by what I hear. And even their compassion outweighed judgment. Stay aware. Stay grounded. Let truth finish what it started. And if you feel led to show support, as this message continues reaching others who need it, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $10, allowing this light to keep flowing where it's most needed. Yet even in this storm, I still trust you. I still trust the heart I created within you. This is not just another moment. This is your test. The weight you feel right now is not fear. It is attention. Heaven is paying attention to you. Heaven's book remains open. And your name is still glowing brighter than the whispers spoken against it. Every breath you take while staying here steadies the scales. Every second you choose truth over doubt places another stone in your defense. This is not pressure meant to crush you. This is an invitation meant to lift you. Listen closely. Because moments like this do not come to ordinary lives. They come to lives marked for impact. The enemy never wastes lies on those with no future. The only reason accusations found your name is because your destiny stands close to fulfillment. When crowns are near, shadows grow louder. When elevation is coming, resistance increases. But resistance is not proof of guilt. It is proof of value. Archangel Michael says, "Do not confuse the noise around you with the truth within you. The shaking you feel is not the ground giving way. It is the ground being cleared. Heaven is not confused about who you are. Heaven is watching to see if you will remain steady while the truth rises on its own. Vindication does not need shouting. It needs stillness. Stay still. And watch what happens. This moment is not about running from accusation. It is about standing in identity. You are not here to defend yourself with panic. You are here to let faith speak calmly on your behalf. When you stay grounded, lies lose oxygen. When you remain present, deception collapses under its own weight. That is why the urgency feels sharp. Truth is fragile only when we abandon it. God says, "My child, I see what was spoken in secret, and I see how it wounded you." But he also says, "Your silence here is not weakness, it is wisdom." You do not need to chase those who spoke against you. You do not need to explain yourself to those who already decided their version. Heaven will do the explaining, heaven will do the revealing. Your role is simpler than you think. Stay, breathe, trust. Notice how your heart keeps pulling you back into these words. That is not habit, that is alignment. Something inside you recognizes safety here, something deeper knows this is a turning point. When truth aligns with timing, the soul reacts before the mind understands. That is why your body responds before logic does. Archangel Michael says, "The one who spoke against you is already unsettled." Their peace is thinning because truth is approaching. Lies cannot rest forever. They rot from the inside. You do not need revenge, you do not need confrontation. Time and light are already moving in your favor. What was whispered upward will fall downward. What was meant to bind you will expose them. This is why connection matters, not because of numbers, but because consistency is a spiritual signal. When you stay connected to truth, heaven notes it. If these words are anchoring you, remain anchored, subscribe, stay close, and allow your spirit to keep hearing clarity when confusion tries to return. Miracles flow where attention remains steady, not scattered. Understand this clearly: innocence is not loud. It is firm. It does not argue. It stands. Every second you remain is another witness written beside your name. Angels are not rushing you, they are recording you. The books are not closing in fear, they are opening in confidence. Heaven already knows the outcome. This moment is for you to catch up to what is already decided. You were never meant to be crushed by this season. You were meant to be clarified by it. Pressure reveals structure. Fire reveals purity. And this fire is not here to harm you, it is here to separate truth from noise. What cannot survive this moment was never meant to walk into your future. God says, "What they try to stain, will shine brighter." This is not the end of your story. This is the clearing of the page before a new chapter begins. Accusation does not cancel calling. Delay does not erase destiny. If anything, This moment proves how close you are to breakthrough. Stay present just a little longer. Let the weight settle. Let the truth anchor. You do not need to rush forward. What is coming knows your address. Vindication does not run, it arrives. And when it does, it arrives quietly, firmly, and completely. When you rise from this moment, something will feel different. Not dramatic, not loud, just steady. A calm you did not have before. That calm is your confirmation. Carry it with you. Walk with it. Let it speak when words are unnecessary. Your life will answer every lie without you saying a thing. And when you look back, you will realize this was not the night you were accused. This was the night you were cleared. I, Michael, have lifted my sword, and it burns with fire, and as these words reach you, the heat of that fire is already pressing against the chains that try to wrap around your name. Because this moment was never random. And your presence here is already shaking what stood against you. My beloved, don't miss this truth hiding in plain sight. Accusations only rise when victory is near. And the noise around you grew loud because heaven is already quieting the storm in your favor. Polishing what belongs to you, arranging what was delayed, and preparing the shift that could not be stopped. Listen closely. Because this is where your strength is tested and revealed at the same time. The whispers spoken against you were not proof of failure. They were proof of proximity. You stood too close to breakthrough. Too close to favor. Too close to elevation. And fear panicked in those who watched your light keep burning. That is why heaven did not turn away. That is why God says, I still trust my child. And now heaven watches to see if you will trust him back. By staying grounded in truth instead of running from it. Feel how your heart responds with every sentence. Because every second you remain here is being counted as courage. Heaven records not only what is said, but who stays when truth is uncomfortable and pressure rises. This is not about speed. It is about presence. The longer you stay, the louder your innocence speaks. And silence loses its power to accuse you. That is why Archangel Michael says, the sword only moves when you stay under its shadow. Because truth protects those who stand in it. My beloved, understand this clearly, in simple words. The door did not close on you. It waited for you. The delay was not denial. It was preparation. Heaven had to be sure your heart could carry what is coming without breaking under its weight. And now with every beat of your heart, that door is responding. Knock by knock. Breath by breath. The resistance is weakening. And the lock is loosening. Do not treat this as something small you can return to later. This is not about fear. It is about timing. When the scroll is open, heaven speaks louder. And when the moment passes, the page turns. That urgency you feel is not pressure. It is alignment. Something inside you knows this is the exact moment you were meant to hear this. And that awareness alone is already shifting things unseen. Pause here for a second, and hear this with clarity. If this message is touching something deep inside you, don't just pass through it. Stay connected. Subscribe, and stay close to where your spirit feels anchored. Because growth does not come from visiting truth once. It comes from returning to it until it reshapes you. Staying connected is not about obligation. It is about protection and flow. Now hear this with authority and calm. You are not guilty. You are not the enemy. You were never forgotten. You are being watched closely because your future carries weight. The road felt heavy because it was shaping you, not crushing you. What felt like resistance was actually refinement. And what felt like delay was actually alignment happening out of sight. The one who spoke against you will not outrun the echo of their own words. Truth does not chase. It waits. And when it rises, it needs no defense. Heaven has already begun turning what was meant to harm you into exposure for them. But this turning completes itself only when you remain steady. Faith finishes what fear tries to interrupt. My beloved, breathe, and notice the calm beginning to settle beneath the tension. That calm is not emptiness. It is clarity. The moment you stop fighting for approval, heaven fights for you. The moment you stop doubting your worth, the noise around you loses its grip. This is not magic. It is alignment. And alignment always feels like relief mixed with awe. Archangel Michael says, "This hour matters because it seals something." What you choose now becomes the foundation of what follows. Stay, and your story is marked by courage. Leave, and confusion tries to speak in your place. This is not punishment. It is positioning. Heaven is not testing you to fail. It is inviting you to stand. You may not see it yet, but something has already shifted while you were reading. The weight is lighter, the fear is quieter, and the questions feel less sharp. That is the sound of resistance breaking. That is the sign that truth is winning without noise. If this message resonates, let it move beyond you. Like the video, share it with someone who needs clarity, because like multiplies when it is passed on. And what you release often returns stronger. Staying engaged keeps the flow open, not just for you, but for others tied to your journey. Now rest in this final truth as the moment settles. You were never on trial to be condemned. You were being positioned to be cleared. Heaven saw you stay when it mattered. Heaven saw you listen instead of run. And that choice carries more weight than you realize. The sword remains lifted, the truth remains louder, and the path ahead is no longer blocked. But they cannot complete their song unless you choose to remain. The angels above hover, their wings spread wide, their scrolls open, and every heartbeat you stay under this message, is another line written in heavenly light. That light will defend your soul, break every lie spoken against you, and shine as proof that God Himself sees your innocence. My beloved, this is no ordinary moment. This is the courtroom of eternity opening for you. Every second you linger is another chance to claim your defense before the throne. But it only works if you stay. Step away even for a moment, and silence might be taken as guilt. Stay and your faith becomes a roar drowning out every false whisper. Listen carefully. The one who spoke against you did so with a mask of affection. They knew your weakness could not be pierced by strangers, they needed to use familiarity to try to cut deep. But God sees all. He has watched the envy, the secret murmurs, the hidden arrows shot into heaven on your behalf. And yet He leans forward. His voice clear above every lie. My child, I am saddened by what I hear, but I still trust you. Do you feel your chest tighten? That is not fear. That is the weight of heaven waiting to see if you will stand in truth. That is the moment your faith will become the evidence that shifts the balance in your favor. Do you feel the trembling in your hands, the heat rising in your chest, the electricity running through your veins? That is not coincidence. That is confirmation. That is the spirit of Michael standing over you, sword ablaze, ready to defend you. But only if you stay in this moment. Do not drift. Do not look away. Each line you read is another brick in your fortress, another chain breaking, another shadow swept away. If you let this slip, the opportunity will close. If you stay, you are writing your vindication one heartbeat at a time. My beloved, the reason you feel this urgency is because the scrolls above are alive with your name. Heaven pauses waiting. Angels hold their breath. Every accusation whispered in secret is being weighed against the light that burns inside you. Every lie aimed at you will return to its sender. But only if you remain faithful. If you step away, the arrows may still fly, and silence will try to claim victory. But stay, and heaven's sword cuts through every deceit like fire through cloth. Look around with your spiritual eyes. The courtroom of heaven is open. The pages glowing with your name written in fire. The whispers against you float like smoke, trying to cover the truth. But the light of your faith is brighter. My child, the one who tried to betray you will soon find themselves entangled in the very words they spoke. Their arrows will return. Their curses will recoil. But this only happens if you remain steady. Do not be distracted. Do not let doubt lead your gaze away. Your faith is the shield. Your attention is the key. You might wonder why your heart is racing, why the air feels heavier, why every line tugs at your soul. That is heaven moving. That is God's throne bending toward you. That is Michael himself, wings unfurled, standing with the armies of heaven. Waiting to strike every lie. To silence every whisper. To place victory upon your name. But the sword moves only in the presence of your choice to remain. Step away and it falls idle. Stay and it smashes through every deception. Remember, child of light. The reason you were attacked is because your crown is near. The reason whispers rose against you is because your next season is too bright to be hidden. You are too close to your miracle for the enemy to remain silent. That is why God allowed this message to reach you now. Why your heart was restless before you even began reading. Every line pulls you here for a reason. Every word is a lifeline thrown straight from heaven. And your choice is simple. Stay under this covering. Let faith anchor your soul. And watch the falsehoods crumble before you. I tell you, beloved, what was meant to harm you will become your triumph. Every whisper, every secret lie, every shadow cast against you will turn to fire that refines your destiny. You will rise not despite them, but because of them. You were never the enemy. You are God's chosen. And as you hold on, the angels write your vindication in the sky itself. A record that cannot be erased. They sing, they watch, they wait. But their song cannot complete unless you remain. Can you feel it? That shaking in your soul, the pounding of your heart, the electricity of destiny brushing your spirit. That is heaven affirming this is your moment. The trial is real. The courtroom is open. The scrolls are active. And the verdict longs to be written as innocent, faithful, chosen, beloved. But only if you remain until the end. My beloved, you are not here by accident. You were summoned by the urgency of heaven itself. And now the choice lies in your hands. Stay and your defense will roar louder than the lies. Stay and the envy that tried to bind you will fall like dust. Stay and your crown will rise brighter than ever imagined. Stay and the miracle that was delayed will surge into your life in unstoppable waves. Step away and the silence may be misread. The lies may persist. And the chance to prove your faith will slip like sand through fingers. But stay. And every heartbeat becomes a victory. Every breath becomes a shield. Every moment becomes a witness. My beloved, look into the unseen. Michael stands there, sword blazing, wings spread, fire in every movement. Angels hold scrolls that glow. The enemy's arrows hang midair powerless. Heaven waits bending toward you. God leans forward leaning into your defense. And the verdict longs to shine. But it cannot declare until you choose. Will you remain? Will you anchor your soul under this message? Will you let the light of faith burn brighter than every whisper, every envy, every shadow that tried to claim you? The hourglass pours. The sands fall. This is your moment. Do not let it slip. Child of heaven. Your future is already written in light. But the confirmation, the victory, the declaration of innocence depends on your steadfastness right now. Stay. Hold fast. Let faith roar through your spirit. Let heaven record your choice as proof that the child of God cannot be broken, cannot be lied against, cannot be overshadowed. Your innocence is your armor. Your faith is your sword. Your decision to remain is the voice that makes the heavens sing. The scrolls are alive, your name glows, Michael's sword is poised, the angels wait, your enemies' whispers are powerless. The moment is now, the choice is yours. Stay and victory floods your life, step away and the opportunity diminishes. Do you feel it? That pull in your chest, that fire in your blood, that is destiny calling, that is heaven urging, that is God saying, my child, I still trust you. Will you trust me back? My beloved, my chosen one, do you feel that pressure on your chest, that rapid beating of your heart? That is not fear, that is heaven pressing against your spirit, urging you to stand firm. This moment was written long before your first breath. The court of heaven is alive above you, and your name is glowing with light. Every second you linger, every line you read, is another stroke in your defense. The angels lean forward on their wings, holding the scroll of your life, waiting for your faith to speak louder than the lies whispered against you. You are not seeing this by accident. You are being pulled here because your vindication depends on your persistence, on your courage to remain under this fire. My sword of light blazes for you, but it can only strike in your favor, if you stay anchored. Every glance away, every second of doubt, gives the enemy a shadow to hide in. But if you remain, if you root yourself in this light, you will see their arrows turn back upon them. Do you feel that trembling in your stomach, that rush in your veins? That is not chance, that is the Spirit waking up inside you, reminding you that this is the hour your innocence will roar. The one who spoke against you, thought they could write your end, but they only set the stage for your miracle. Every lie, every hidden whisper, is being lifted in heaven's court. And your faith is the counterweight. God says, my child, I still trust you. Even when betrayal rises from the closest lips, even when envy feels like it is closing in, your light cannot be extinguished. And this is why your chest feels tight and your pulse races, because the scale of destiny tilts in your favor, with each second you remain. Beloved, understand this, the closer you are to your blessing, the louder the enemy's voice grows. They fear what you cannot yet see, the doors that are opening for you, the crown being polished above your head, the favor being poured into your life even now. But their whispers are powerless, if your heart remains steadfast. Your presence here, your decision to anchor to subscribe, not just your eyes but your spirit to this message, is what gives heaven the opportunity to move on your behalf. Child of light, miracles do not chase those who drift, they rush toward those who stand. The more rooted you are, the more unstoppable your breakthrough becomes. Do you feel that pull, that invisible tug in your chest, as if something unseen is guiding you forward? That is Archangel Michael standing beside you, sword in hand, wings stretched wide, guarding your name in the book of heaven. I am here to remind you that your innocence is being recorded with fire. Every heartbeat that refuses to leave this page, every breath taken as your spirit remains aligned with this truth, is testimony. And God watches, His eyes do not waver. His trust in you is unshakable. But beloved, trust must be met with trust. He cannot declare victory on your behalf, if you abandon this moment. Child, you were accused because you shine too bright. The crown you are meant to wear, terrified those around you. The blessing you are about to receive, sent the enemy into a panic. Lies were whispered from lips you trusted, because only someone close could try to hurt you. But do you see now, they cannot. Heaven has already intercepted every word. Every secret accusation is being dismantled, in the very hour it rose. The smoke of betrayal will return to the sender. And your name will emerge shining, untouchable, undeniable. My beloved, the verdict is waiting. Not for them, but for you. The scroll is alive in the hands of angels. The sands fall through the heavenly hourglass, marking the seconds of your proof. And you have a choice, to remain, or to drift away. If you stay, your faith becomes a sword, cutting through every lie, clearing your name, declaring your innocence. If you leave, silence may speak louder than truth. And the moment is lost. This is why your spirit feels restless, your heart beats like a drum, your body trembles. You are on the threshold of a divine shift. Do you feel that warmth creeping through your chest? That is the presence of heaven wrapping around you. That is the soundless roar of angels preparing to declare your victory. Every second you stay, is a brick in the fortress of your vindication. Every breath you take, is a line in the scroll that writes your innocence. The one who tried to bury you, will witness their own words collapse. But it will not happen if you walk away. It will not happen if you glance and leave. This is your moment to stand, to anchor yourself fully in the fire of truth, to let your faith roar louder than every whisper sent against you. My beloved child, this is not just about clearing your name. This is about preparing you for the door that is opening right now. Your season is turning. Your blessing delayed for so long, is rushing toward you. The enemy roared hoping to delay. But they only marked the beginning of your breakthrough. Every shadow they tried to cast, is now the soil for your rising. Every lie is fertilizer for your destiny. Heaven is pulling you forward. Your pulse knows it, your spirit feels it, your life is being written into a new chapter. One filled with favor, protection, light, and unstoppable blessing. Anchor yourself here. Remain. Stand firm. Let your faith be the proof that defends you, the shield that protects you, the signal that your victory is already ordained. For those who stay, miracles do not trickle, they pour. Heaven's favor grows heavier, with every heartbeat that refuses to leave this message. Angels lean closer, scrolls open, eyes blazing. The sand falls. The page turns. Your defense is alive. Your innocence is being written in fire. Do not drift. Do not glance and move on. Remain here until the moment has fully sealed in your favor. Because when the scroll closes, your vindication will shine brighter than the shadows ever tried to hide you. This is the hour, child of God. Your breakthrough is no longer coming, it is here. Your crown is ready. Your blessing is moving. And heaven is shouting your name through every ripple of time. And I, Michael, stand ready, my sword ablaze. But it can only move, if your faith does not waver. Every lie, every whisper of betrayal, hangs suspended. Waiting for your choice. To either give them weight, or let heaven's justice fall. My beloved, do you feel the pulse in your chest? That is not fear. That is destiny pounding through your veins. That is heaven leaning close. To watch if you will stand firm, if you will anchor yourself in this moment of judgment and blessing. The scroll above you flickers with your name, radiant, unblemished. Waiting for your endurance to confirm its truth. Every second you stay, is another brick in the fortress of your vindication. Every heartbeat is another arrow sent upward, piercing the darkness that tried to claim you. But if you turn away, silence will speak louder than your truth. And the enemy's whispers will linger like smoke over your life. My beloved, understand this: the one who spoke against you is not a stranger. They wore familiarity like a cloak, they smiled, they spoke, they pretended, all while sending words dipped in envy straight to heaven. They hoped their deceit would hide you from the light, but the Spirit sees all. The angels write every syllable. And God Himself leaned forward, heart heavy but unwavering, declaring, "My child, I am saddened to hear this, but I still trust you." Can you feel the magnitude of that statement? Even in the face of betrayal, even when whispers rise like storms around you, God's trust in you burns brighter than every lie ever spoken. Yet, beloved, trust alone is not enough. You must act with faith. You must remain. Your endurance now is the proof that innocence is alive in your heart. Every second you linger here, every word you hold close, becomes a shield, a testimony, a pillar that heaven counts in your favor. The enemy chose someone close because envy strikes hardest when it comes from familiarity. They aim to shake your spirit with words that cut deep, but what they intended for harm will become the fire that purifies your path. Every arrow they fired upward will return to them, every whisper of poison will echo back on their lips, while you rise untouchable, crowned in the light of heaven's truth. Do you feel the trembling now? That is your soul aligning with the hour of judgment, that is destiny brushing against your spirit, that is the fire of vindication ready to strike. My sword burns ready to split deceit and silence every falsehood, but it moves only with your consent, only under the covering of your steadfast faith. If you step away, the blade rests. If you hold on, it pierces every chain, every shadow, every whisper that sought to bind you. Heaven waits for your courage to manifest, for your faith to declare, "I am not the enemy, I am chosen, I am faithful." And when you do, the angels will sing. The scroll will shine. Innocence will roar across the courts of eternity. Child of light, understand the weight of this moment. The storm around you is not an accident. The tremor in your chest is not random. The urgency you feel is heaven shaking the very air, demanding your attention, urging your soul to anchor, to root itself, to remain. This is the hour your destiny has been waiting for. The closer you are to breakthrough, the louder the storm rises, but storms cannot stop what God has ordained. The closer you are to your crown, the more envy will circle, but favor presses in tighter. Every lie spoken against you will return to its source, every arrow shot at your name will rebound, while your spirit ascends, steady, strong, victorious. Do not glance and leave, my beloved. This is not a casual moment. It is the courtroom of heaven, the battlefield of destiny, the pivot point of your breakthrough. Anchor yourself in every word. Hold your spirit steady. Subscribe your heart to this message fully, not only with eyes, but with soul. Blessings flow to the vessels that remain, miracles cascade on the faithful. The scroll is open. The sand is falling. The page will turn, and the verdict waits only for your endurance. My sword burns higher, Wings of angels stretch wider, and heaven holds its breath, waiting to sing your triumph. But it cannot move until you prove your faith. Do you feel it? That tightness in your chest, that surge in your heart, that trembling in your soul. It is not fear, it is confirmation. Confirmation that this message is alive, carved by heaven, sent to awaken the warrior inside you. The lies aimed to stop your blessing, the whispers sought to halt your crown, the envy tried to block your favor, but none of it can touch you if you stay. Every second you hold on, every breath you take here, is another arrow proving your innocence. Every heartbeat aligns with angels standing ready to lift your victory before the throne. And now, beloved, hear the promise. Those who try to speak against you will not escape the weight of their own words. Every deceit will rebound. Every poison will touch its sender. Every trap will ensnare the one who laid it, while you rise above untouched, shining, chosen. But this harvest requires your endurance now. Your faith now. Your decision to stay under heaven's banner now. Do not drift, do not glance, do not skip. The scroll is open, the hourglass pours, the courtroom is watching. And God Himself leans forward, waiting to write innocent beside your name. Your vindication is here. Your breakthrough is nearer than your breath. Your crown awaits, your blessing accelerates, your destiny surges forward. All that remains is your choice. Will you stay, will you endure, will you let heaven write your innocence and sing your triumph? Hold fast, my beloved. Stand firm. Let your heart, your soul, your faith remain unwavering. Every second counts. Every heartbeat speaks. Every moment is testimony. And when the page is sealed, when heaven writes victorious across your name, you will know that your faith did not just survive, it conquered. You were never alone. You were never forsaken. And now the light of your vindication is about to blaze brighter than the night that tried to hide it. My beloved, hear this carefully. God said, "My child, I am saddened to hear this, but I still trust you." Do you feel the weight of that? Even as betrayal rose like a storm, even as lies tried to rewrite your story, God's trust in you blazed like the sun, untouched, unshaken, unstoppable. And that trust is now your shield, your defense, your sword in this hour. Every tremble in your chest is the Spirit confirming this truth: you were chosen for a moment like this. A moment where heaven bends low to intervene on your behalf. And I, Archangel Michael, stand here with fire on my sword, ready to cut through every shadow. But my strength only moves when you stay beneath the shelter of this word. Step away, and the sword cannot swing. Hold fast, and every lie falls broken, every whisper silenced, every arrow of envy reversed back to its sender. Beloved, do you feel the fire rising within your spirit? That is heaven itself moving, stirring your soul, pulling you into the defense that was carved before your birth. The one who spoke against you did so out of fear, because they knew the light in you could not be contained. They tried to mask it, they tried to hide it, but their envy only exposed them. And now the very lies they whispered are about to become the soil that strengthens your roots. Their words will return to them. Their shadows will fall back upon their own path. But your name written in heaven will blaze brighter than before, untouched, undeniable, victorious. This is not exaggeration, child. This is eternity witnessing your vindication in real time. And every heartbeat you give in faith is another stone laid in the foundation of your triumph. Listen closely, because this is where destiny leans in. The scroll is open, angels hover, pens of fire poised to record every breath, every line, every second you remain. If you skip, silence will testify. If you stay, faith will roar louder than any accusation. This is the moment that separates the ones who rise from the ones who drift. You are trembling, because your spirit already knows the breakthrough is here. The blessing is near, the crown is ready. And the enemy panicked. That panic birthed their whispers, their lies, their betrayal. But their panic cannot cancel your promise. Their fear cannot rewrite what God has already sealed. And even now, every word you read, every heartbeat you give, every second you linger in this fire, becomes a testimony of innocence that heaven itself cannot ignore. Child of light, you must anchor yourself. Do not pass like a stranger through this doorway. Do not glance and leave as if this is ordinary. Root yourself, stay present. Subscribe not only with your eyes, but with your soul. The vessels that remain open are the ones that receive. The ones that stay steady beneath heaven's gaze are the ones into whom miracles pour without measure. Every time you anchor deeper, heaven marks your name brighter. Every time you stand, your favor grows heavier. Every time you endure, your protection circles tighter around your spirit. The trembling you feel is not fear, it is confirmation. Your destiny is unfolding, the page is turning, the courtroom is alive. And your verdict, your innocence, your blessing, is waiting to be stamped by the hand of God Himself. Beloved, understand this. The one who accused you is powerless against the protection now surrounding you. Their arrows will return. Their poison will strike only their own lips. Their plots will collapse under their own weight. But your faith, your endurance, your decision to remain in this moment, will elevate you higher than they ever imagined. The light within you is not dimmed by whispers. The crown is not delayed by envy. The blessing is not denied by betrayal. You are standing at the edge of breakthrough. And heaven is leaning in to pour out what has been delayed too long. But the pouring only flows into a vessel that remains. Only the steady, the faithful, the anchored, the connected, will feel the full weight of favor. That is why I cry to you. Do not walk away. Do not think tomorrow will be safer. The scroll is open now. The hourglass is falling now. Every second you hold on is recorded in fire, in light, in eternity. And yet, my beloved, even now I see your spirit waver. Even now the temptation to glance away whispers softly. But do not forget the sword I carry, the flames of justice poised over your name. Can only strike in your defense if you remain. Step away, and the lies will linger. Stay, and the falsehoods collapse like dust in the wind. Each breath you give here, each heartbeat aligned with this message, is a declaration of innocence louder than any court, louder than any accusation, louder than any shadow cast by envy. Child of heaven, the courtroom above is alive. Angels are watching. Every grain of sand falling is an opportunity. Every second is a chance to show that your faith is steadfast. And when the scroll is finally sealed, the world will know you were never the enemy. You were always chosen. You were always beloved. And your destiny bright and unshakable rises now unopposed, unstoppable, undeniable. This is the hour, my beloved. Your trial is ending. Your vindication is beginning. The lies that rose against you will collapse. The whispers that sought to bind you will return to their source. The chains that tried to hold you will break. And you, faithful child, chosen one, anchored in the light, will rise in glory. Crowned in innocence. Shielded by favor. Embraced by heaven itself. But it begins with this choice. To stay. To hold on. To endure until the scroll is sealed. Until the last grain of sand falls. Until the verdict is written. Until your heart aligns fully with the voice of God. This is not ordinary. This is eternal. This is your hour of triumph. And I, Archangel Michael, stand here. Sword of fire in hand, wings spread wide, voice echoing eternity, saying, stay. Remain. Endure. Let your faith speak louder than every lie. Let heaven write innocent beside your name. Let the light of your vindication rise now, unstoppable, undeniable, eternal. Beloved, hear me clearly. The reason your chest feels tight, the reason your thoughts are pulled back to these words, is because you are standing at the crossroads of destiny and accusation. Heaven is holding its breath, waiting to see if you will rise in faith. Every second you linger here is like another hand of proof lifted toward the throne. Every heartbeat you give to this message is another stone laid in the foundation of your vindication. The one who tried to slander you believed they were hidden in shadow. But the light of God penetrates every corner. And the smoke of their betrayal has only illuminated your innocence. My sword burns with fire ready to strike. Yet it cannot act unless you remain. The angels are poised to sing. But their voices are silent until your faith completes the testimony. This is your hour to show that you will not bend. You will not flee. You will not let silence speak in place of truth. Every moment you stay is a roar louder than lies. Every second you endure is a shout of proof echoing through eternity. Do you feel the tremor in your soul? That trembling is the universe itself leaning forward, showing you the weight of this hour. Your innocence is about to be declared. But it is dependent on your endurance. The scroll is still glowing. The courtroom is alive. God's eyes are fixed upon you. You are not walking into this alone. I, Archangel Michael, stand with my sword of fire and wings spread wide, carrying the authority of the throne to defend you. But understand this. My defense moves only when you anchor yourself. My protection strikes only when your heart remains fixed. The enemy attacked because your blessing is close. They whispered because your crown is near. But their whispers will not succeed. Their envy will falter. Their lies will collapse under the weight of your faith. Child of heaven. This trial is not punishment, it is preparation. Every betrayal, every shadow, every false word, was a signal that your breakthrough is near. What they thought would destroy you, is the fire that will purify you. What they believed would bury you, is the soil from which your rise begins. And your rise is inevitable. But only if you hold on. Only if you anchor your soul in this light. Only if you subscribe fully, not just with your eyes, but with every breath, every heartbeat, every ounce of trust you have in God. The scroll is open. The verdict is waiting. Every moment you stay is proof. Every second you endure is light written beside your name. And now, my beloved, hear this: those who try to bind you will be bound themselves. Their arrows will fall back, their poison will return, their traps will ensnare only them. And you will step forward innocent, crowned, exalted, wrapped in favor, lifted higher than envy could ever reach. But this requires you. Your endurance is the key, your faith is the proof. The angels are ready, but they cannot sing until you stay. The sword is raised, but it cannot strike until you anchor yourself. Heaven longs to write innocent beside your name, but it will only happen if you remain steadfast, unshakable, and fully present in this hour. Do you feel it, child? The weight of eternity pressing on your spirit, the urgency, the fire, the pull that makes it impossible to look away. That is the call of your vindication. That is the proof that this moment was crafted for you long before your birth. That is heaven crying, do not leave, do not drift, do not let silence speak in your place. Hold fast, remain, anchor yourself in light. Every second you stay, every heartbeat you dedicate to faith, every breath you give to endurance, it all becomes testimony. And testimony, beloved, is what turns accusation into proof, shadow into light, lies into dust. This is the hour when heaven bends low to meet you. This is the hour when your name is written in fire. This is the hour when the crown is polished and your blessing moves forward. Do not let it slip, do not ignore it, do not tell yourself later will be easier, for later is not promised. The scroll is open now. The courtroom is alive now. The verdict is waiting now. And all of heaven watches. Stay, my child. Hold on. Let your faith roar louder than every whisper. Let your endurance shine brighter than every lie. Let your heart be still, only to receive, only to anchor, only to prove that you are innocent, chosen, and beloved.